Hi guys, I figured I'd show you this quilt. I'm marking it right now. This quilt is kind of a labor of love. Well, I'll tell you the story of it a little while, but right now I want to show you the marking. I'm refurbishing this quilt for someone, and I'm using the old materials that were in it. This quilt was pretty bad off when I got it, but it seems to be coming back together to life. But I wanted to show you kind of how I'm marking this to do the quilting. I'm using a Frixion pen. I love them. Some people say they leave marks when you iron them out. I haven't had that problem, especially when I'm using lighter fabric. I happened to go to Tuesday morning, and in Tuesday morning they had these Nancy Zeman Trace and Create quilt templates, and it was perfect because the lady who had made this quilt originally, and I'm figuring probably late 70s, maybe 80s, and this was a well-loved quilt. It was slept with every single night. And they wanted to keep the top portion. I talked them into putting a new backing on it. So now we have a nice new backing on the back of it, hopefully to give it a little bit of strength so they can get a little more time out of it. But now I'm going through and marking. The only problem with refurbishing a quilt is you have to be really careful because the material's stretched, and I'll add in a picture of what it looked like when I got it. It was just a mass. There was not even any batting left in there. So for you new quilters out there, realize that if you make mistakes on these quilts, it's okay. The thing that people do is they love it. They don't see those mistakes. So do quilt. Don't be afraid to. People love these quilts. This quilt was loved to death. And I figured I'd take this chance to show you guys. And here's the template. It's just a real thin template. And all I'm doing is I'm using this curve because it matched. The thing that was on here still was the ghost of how she had once quilted it, and she used the clamshells. So I thought, well, that would bring it back to kind of where it was to begin with. She had hand stitched in the quilts. This time I'm doing this for a rush for Father's Day, and Father's Day is this coming Saturday, and I got this the other day, so we're gonna get it done. This is how, and I'm hoping you can see it. Let me walk out of the way for a minute to see. Yeah, you guys can see it. And I'm hoping and what I'm doing is I'm taking this and I'm placing the template, and I'm leaving the centers open in the center here so that you can see here. And sorry, that was my air conditioner, my window unit in this room. And it's made the perfect shape, and I just go back in and fill in the little things, so when I'm stitching I have a definite guide. Now when you get to the end with this template, line it up and make your little edge, and then go back and fill it in. And then I'll choose one here in the middle, seeing my center point so I know that I'm right on. I'll use the red marks on here, and I don't know if you guys can see the red marks. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit more. Okay, and there are the red marks. And then I'll show it to you as a zoom. And all I'm doing is placing in and placing in the template, lining it up between the middle of the marks, making sure my red tips hit right at the edge, making a little line all the way around. This Frixion doesn't take much pressure at all. You just lightly tap it and then you move to the next one, and you keep doing that all the way through. And then what you'll have, let me see if I can find, and I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing. There's the marks that I'm making. I'm lining this up, catching the center points, lining it up, and then that way I can mark. I don't know if I can do this left-handed or not. I'm sure I can. Maybe not quite. Might be a little, yeah, it's a little wonky. I'll go back and fix that one. But this is the way, this one is already got all the marks on it, and it's ready to go. I've quilted some of these already. Now this is one part of it that's already been quilted. I don't know if I can get a good, but you can see the quilting on it. You can see there, you can see this material has been used. I'm going to go over and try and get off some of these little bundles of fabric that are all over it. I've picked them out as I'm going through. But little by little, and I'll show this to you when we're done. And hopefully he'll love it again.